I am the Fallen, the 13th. The first disgrace of Primus himself. For years I wanted redemption for my sins. And my love to return. I have finally found it. And what? Okay, enough dramatics. That's not fucking me. Someone get me my wife and kill that bastard.
What's up, YouTubers, one and all? My name is Fate1987, and today we're taking a look at the Iron Factory Chaos Raven. Basically, the remold / repaint of Iron Factory's Tyrant, or the Tyrant. Here we see we got some good product shots, and yes, I kind of got a new background to deal with it. On the back of the box, we got your obligatory product shots. And we also got a QR code to scan. I will show you, I will probably find out what that is later on. And don't mind the people talking in the background, that's just my new roommates. But here we have what we have in a package. And then here are the instructions. Very clear, I have to say. This is very detailed, thankfully. And also they have video instructions on YouTube, which is probably the QR code. So, let's get them out of the package, and let's see how cool he actually is.
And here we have the Fallen. I have been waiting to do this review for a while now. And yes, that's sadly due to a lot of things. And yes, there is a lot you can do with the weapons and stuff, but we also got this. We got a freaking cape. I got 2 of these pieces because of Nemesis. We got fists, we got flayed hands, all kinds of things. We got the tank itself. What more could you ask from the Fallen? Oh yeah, apparently they're doing a, what's it called? An upgraded edition later this year. I fucking want it. Now, let's do comparisons, because I'm kind of getting a little tired of these. Here he is next to his wife. No, I'm not going to retract that. I am not going to retract that. Solus Prime. Next to Tarn. Next to Nemesis. Next to the 2 trucks. Literally the same except for some differences. Next to his former Herald, Megatron, I guess, I don't know. Next to Alita. Next to Prime RC, aka Chromia. Next to Rise of the Beast RC, aka just RC. And finally, Slipstream. Who is actually Elite Maximo's Herald, if I remember correctly. It's not his Herald. Though, would be cool, would be a good what-if scenario. I don't know. But, yeah. That's basically it. We already gone over the kind of, well, actually, these are a little complicated to deal with. These are essentially a build-a-weapon. Like, that's literally what these are. That's why there's extra pieces. Now, I've seen online somewhere that you can actually turn these into actual, like, 2 weapons with all the pieces. but I have not seen that truly anywhere yet. So I'm going to be using P-Og's review for like how exactly to do these weapons, or rather just the instructions in general, I don't know. And of course we got the cape. But that is it, and we're going to be going to transformation now. So be back in a moment. To transform Megatronus, aka the Fallen, I'm gonna call him Megatronus because this one's easier, because the real Fallen, shit, that's a missed opportunity. I did not surprise comparison in vehicle mode. At least I have him in robot mode, so I'll get him in a moment. But, to transform him, first, you're going to lift this up. Oh, and did I mention that this turret can actually flip and move? Like, it's incredible. But, yeah. You're going to lift this all the way up, and you're going to essentially untab the cannon. And just split it from both arms, and again, it's tricky, especially if you haven't done this in a while. Want to undo it like so. There you go. There's one arm. I really don't want to break this, so there you go. There you go. So that is all that done. And now, essentially, to create the gun, just flip these down, flip that down, boom. There's the cannon for robot mode. But we'll get to that later. So, this is actually, believe it or not, a remold and retool and repaint of the IDW Megatron Customizer Pack, or whatever you want to call it, because, like, that's expensive, first of all. I'm trying to find that. I cannot find that for more than $200 anywhere, or even online at this point. So, now you want to do is you want to bring these down, and I suggest, you know, we'll go for the feet now. We're going to go for the feet. So, we're going to flip these up so we have more clearance. Bring these all the way out as much as possible. At the same time, bring these legs out. This is going to allow you to flip up the crotch piece. Then you can bring these down. At the same time, you could finish realigning the legs. And then you got this slot here is going to tab into this tab, like so. And that essentially creates the side of the leg. And then you're going to, I like this part actually, you're going to lift these shins up. And they really look good. Also, fold the shoulder pauldron down as soon as the hip pauldron, as soon as you're done with that. So, same thing on the other side. Flip this up. Make sure it's all nice and tight. Flip the shin up. And then finally, flip down the feet. There are the legs all done. Now, this part is a little tricky and requires some, shall we say, the right movement. So, first of all, bring those back. You're going to need to flip this entire section up. And you're going to split the arms. I mean, if they're not split already. So, you're going to do that. And then you're going to make sure they are in an L position like this. If they are the other way, that is wrong. So make sure they are straight up like this. This will allow this piece to come over. And at the same time, you're also going to end up pulling that off, because that is essentially what you're going to end up doing. Unfortunately, this part will come off a lot. But before you do that, you're supposed to actually, before you completely bring this up, bring it back down. Bring it back down, I said, thank you. So you're going to need to make sure the head is now aligned with the top of this. So now, when you transform it, as soon as it comes up, you can actually bring the head up along with it. These last parts, again, besides this back part falling off a lot, and that's kind of for a specific reason. You're going to now. Also, you can flip up the hands if they're already trying to already. So you can flip them out like so. What you're supposed to do, which is what that thing failed to do, is flip this out, bring this down. The hands only work with these hands, like the ones where you can hold weapons. Put that down and make sure it's oriented properly so it can hold weapons. Finally, what you're going to do is come back here. You're going to, you know what, just tear it off. Make it easier for me, tear it off. So you're going to flip these up like so. And flip these up. It's a little hard to do. Essentially, you're supposed to untab like that and you're supposed to shift them up. You're supposed to shift them up. So, you're going to tab these back in. And then these little tabs here are going to tab into these little slots right on his back. And that essentially creates the main version, the king looking version of, let me angle these correctly. The non-king or demon looking version of Megatronus. Also, I've learned that he actually has the cannon on his left arm. But there you go. That is Megatronus in his robot mode, without all the king stuff. And it's really good. Like, I really enjoy this figure, even though it does have the little fiddle factor, but almost every Transformers figure has that at that point, so it's nothing to me. But this figure is, my god, it's really good. Like, Iron Factory always knocks it out of the park, even with something like with Nemesis Prime. But, actually, I'm going to say almost, because, like, I had a bad experience with Blitzwing, but probably that's just because of a very terrible copy. But, yeah, that is essentially the Fallen. And let's take a good look at his noggin. You can barely see, there's actually no color, actually. When I look at it off camera, there is no eye color, and that is creepy. And yeah, this will fall off from time to time because of the shoulder pauldron. But yeah, that is essentially it. Now let's go on to stock comparison, articulation, and the accessories. Megatronus. He is the Fallen, as you might have suspected by now. And there's quite a lot to be done with him, actually. Like, seriously, I look at his instructions, there's a lot to be done with him. There are some customization, but mainly for his weapons. And you know what? I dig it. I really do. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at articulation. Articulation, he has 360 at the head, surprisingly. Backwards butterfly joint, I'd say. You know, like a big shoulder, like a big shrug, you know? Like he can make it do a shrug. Like, that's good. Let's take the cannon off for now. Spin this around 180. He has articulated shoulder joints. 360 at the elbow. Has a 90-degree bend. Waist swivel. Wrist swivel. Waist swivel. If you push these far enough, you can get them to do a full split. If you pull this up, you can make him kick forward that far, and back that far. He has an over 9-degree bend at the knee. 360 thigh swivel, I guess. Really big ankle tilts and ankle movement or whatever. And that's essentially it for articulation. But we're not done yet. I'm not side comparing him in this form. No. I'm going to do something different. So first, you're going to take this off. Yes. We can take off this annoying piece of shit. Then you can add this. So this is essentially filling in entirely the back. I'll make sure this is all filed up straight so it doesn't miss anything. You're just simply going to smash it there, and there's one half of the new god of Kaon done. Next, what you want to do is you're going to need to essentially, you can do whatever you want with these. You can really do whatever you want. I've decided to make the ultimate scepter, which can also turn into a spear. And essentially, if I didn't have to rip that off. This is God's work at this point. Like, you cannot tell me this is God tier. But wait, there's more. You can add this part. Now, this part's a little tricky for me to figure out, like, where exactly it goes once it starts. But, like, essentially, you plug it here. And you can tap in the cannon right there. And it will fall off. If enough force, at least. I mean, if you don't have it tabbed in all the way, it's gonna fall off. But, yeah. I have the god now. I have the fallen. The right fallen. And speaking of fallen, let's do a side comparison with this fucker. Also, I tore off his head earlier for a clip, so... yeah. Yeah, I like the lead piping though, don't get me wrong. Like, it's really good. But this is just... I honestly prefer this, in truth. I'm sorry, but I prefer that instead. Now, comparing to someone... Now, this is technically almost deluxe size, so let's compare it to, say... Megatron. They are actually about the same size. What the fuck? Trying to someone like Shockwave. Okay, now you can start to see there's a little less. Because apparently Shockwave's taller than Megatron, and honestly, I kind of like that depiction in truth. Here he is next to his wife. I'm not taking that back. I'm not taking that back. Here he is next to his wife. Yeah. Next to Megatron. Next to Optimus. And then next to non-powered up Nemesis Prime. You can see how well that's going to go. And I really do like the side scale, I really do. Again, side comparisons, but this time we're going to bring in a little things from us. So while we have some of the Terracons, I'm just going to save those for the side now. And we're going to bring in something like, we already did a Deluxe class, let's do a Voyager class with Optimus. Because why not? And then my other leader class, you know what, fuck it, Scourge. Scourge, because why not? Like, literally, why not? And that's essentially it. So now I can do
transformation, or rather, take off the parts to go back to it. Back to truck mode or vehicle mode or whatever mode. Alright, to transform Megatronus back into tank mode, first we're going to take this off. Or take this off, slide it out, or end up ripping off the hand. Come on, work with me. Work with me. Thank you. Alright. So, that's all off. Take this off, and then slide this back on. So first, we're going to shoot these downward. Like so. And we're just gonna leave them like... Not even 5 seconds in transformation, you all want to fall off. Fuck off. Anyways. Gonna come back here to the hands. Fold them inwards like this. Keep that flap out. Fold them inwards like this and just close it back up. Same thing on the side. Turn them, fold them inwards, close it back up. Alright, so now we're going to do the legs. We're going to bring these upwards like so, and we're going to flip these out as much as possible so we can flip this out and under for vehicle mode. Then we can bring these back. And what we're going to do now is we're going to try to figure these out as much as possible. We're going to shoot these back downwards. Shoot the kneecaps downwards. Like so. Untab the leg. And untab the leg. And this is on a double-sided hinge joint. And you're essentially going to tab it in like so. Repeat on the same side. Shoot it in. Like so. And this is going to create the back half of the tank. Like that. It looks a little messy, but it gets more cleaner as it goes in a vehicle mode, don't worry. Now what you're going to do is you're going to flay these out as much as possible. You're going to lift this up at the same time as the head. Fold this down. Fold the head down. And then you're going to fold the arms. Back and upwards like this. And then this can be folded back up. Keep it in place. This folded inwards and just tabbed right there. And tabbed right there. This is the hardest part of transformation and keeping all of this lined up properly. But essentially now you're going to take the cannon, take this part off, take the cannon and fold this part out, flip it out, flip it out. So you have these connections on the sides of the arms. This connection. You're going to need to tab it in right there, and it's hard to do because I'm not good at this shit, apparently.
supposed to tab in. Why isn't it? Oh, supposed to have the arms turned like this. So both of them slots are on the sides like that. So I tab it in like this. Make sure this is all the way up. Make sure that you tab in the other side, and at the same time you tab in that little hole in the back. And what this does now is essentially you're supposed to tab in both ends with this, but it's kind of hard to do, in truth. And it makes you think that you're gonna be It does not want to tab it. You know what? Fine. Let it. Let it not tab in. Let it not tab in. But there is Megatronus in his tank mode and the end of the review. Thank you all for watching. Next review is going to be Solus Prime. And as always, till all the one.